police-involved shooting in Yakima. One man is dead after reports say he had a gun in a hotel. Police say officers confronted the man in a parking lot where at least one shot was fired. The case is now in the hands of the Special Investigations Unit. We'll share the latest. Plus, a bill in Olympia would create an oversight committee for jails. It would be set up within the governor's office and would be responsible for dealing with complaints relating to jails statewide. Some Yakima law enforcement leaders, though, are not on board, saying it should be up to local municipalities to provide the oversight. And it's American Heart Month, focused on raising awareness about heart disease, a leading cause of death in the United States. But did you know symptoms of the disease vary by sex? We'll catch up with a cardiologist to talk the differences. We'll have that story and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, in the world of weather, it is a calm, crisp day this morning.
Yeah.
When I walked outside, I didn't realize how quiet things could be as opposed to what's going on this morning. A lot of people are avoiding the outside, given these temperatures.
Yeah, I would say, and that's a smart thing to do because of just how cold it is this morning. Certainly, we are waking up to some very chilly values. In Yakima, we are waking up to not too many weather concerns. Again, you can see the lights out over the city. It is a calm and cold morning around the forecast area. Now, in terms of temperatures in Yakima, we are right now looking at 6 degrees. The temperature does coincide with my favorite musical title. Again, that is 6 degrees. Again, there's also a light wind out there. With the winds, with the temperatures how they are, it does not take much of a wind at all to add a little extra bite to the air. Just make sure to bundle up nice and tight stepping outside. Now, as we look at our weather headlines today, it is going to be another sunny and cold Wednesday. For tomorrow, the big weather headline is going to be a return to snow showers in eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. And then we are going to undergo a slow warming trend from the end of the work week and into the weekend. We'll talk more about all three of these weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Yakima. The investigation into Saturday's deadly officer-involved shooting continues, and we now know the identity of the officer who fired that fatal shot. According to the police, it was K-9 Officer Brad Althauser, who's been with the department for 12 years. While the Yakima Valley Special Investigations Unit is conducting an investigation into the incident, Yakima police are conducting their own administrative investigation to determine if Officer Althauser's actions were in accordance with the department's policies and procedures. And a Sunnyside police officer is recovering after breaking his ankle while chasing some juvenile theft suspects. This happened Monday at the Sunnyside Walmart at around 3:30. Police say during the arrest, the officer stepped in a hole on the edge of the road and broke his ankle in 2 places. He had surgery and is now in stable condition. The 2 juveniles were arrested. Chief Lehman thanks the community for their support towards the department and the officer. Switching gears this morning, state lawmakers are considering a bill that would create an oversight committee for county and local jails. KIMA's Mallory Aldrich spoke to local law enforcement leaders and county commissioners to get their take on it.
Everyone should have standards, professional standards, about when you have people 200 miles away making decisions when they weren't there, they don't know your community, they don't know your facility. That becomes problematic.
Senate Bill 5005 plans to create a Washington Jail Council within the governor's office to be responsible for monitoring, investigating, and receiving complaints on local and county jails within the state. But some of Yakima's law enforcement leaders find this to be overbearing.
Communities need to have the right to decide for themselves what they want to have happen with their criminal justice systems and their local governments. When someone 150 to 200, 300 miles away is telling you how to do it, they're not always going to get it right for the local communities.
I think that we have a very good policy, we have very good employees, we have very good oversight from the 3 sergeants and the commander that run the jail. So I think right now we're doing, as a organization, do a good job of managing our own jail.
Yakima County Commissioners Kyle Curtis and LaDawn Lindy both agreed that jail oversight should remain local.
I think when it really comes down to the operations of our county jails, of our county Department of Corrections, the best stakeholders to manage that are your local folks.
I don't think this bill as currently composed is the answer. We're again putting a little bit too much authority into hands of people that don't always really have a good feel for what happens here on the local level.
Among the county and city leaders is a consensus that this bill is not what the state needs.
I think there's some overreaching, potential overreach here that we're concerned about.
KIMA's Mallory Aldrich, thank you. And the bill is now headed to the Senate Ways and Means Committee for discussion. Yesterday was Safer Internet Day, a day recognized by all 61 internet crimes against children task forces across the country, one of which is right here in Richland. The Southeast Regional Internet Crimes Against Task Force, or SIR ICAC, is focused on protecting children online and putting those perpetrators away. Just in our area alone, in 2023, SIR ICAC received 88 cyber tips. RPD sharing some tips for parents.
It can start as young as a kiddo getting an iPad or maybe using a parent's Kindle. Those do go on the internet, which a lot of people don't know. And so talking to their kids about, okay, we only access the apps that mom and dad allow us to access. We don't put personal information online. If we see something, we say something. We tell everybody that, right? But if someone's interacting with us on an app or a game and it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right.
Vanima emphasizes it really is that relationship between child and parent that can truly make a difference. And as we mentioned last week, it's American Heart Month. But did you know symptoms of heart disease can vary by sex? Whether you're male or female, heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S., with one person dying every 33 seconds, according to the CDC.
Tend to have a typical classic textbook symptoms such as chest pain, chest pressure, having tightness in the chest, whereas women tend to have presented with the atypical symptoms. Sometimes they can have shortness of breath, having numbness in the arm, tingling sensation, having cold sweats, feeling fatigued, or having a back pain or an epigastric pain.
Dr. Guiula says if you have a sudden onset of symptoms that won't go away, you should call 911, as this could be a sign of acute heart attack. Yakima Valley College is resuming their 2025 Winter Talk series on Tuesday, March 4th. The series will continue with a presentation titled Elk, Then and Now, the history of elk in Yakima County and current perspectives on management. Oak Creek Wildlife Manager Greg Mackey will describe elk's natural history in our area, their unique behavior and physiology, and the management challenges created by such a powerful mobile and social animal. The talk will take place at YVC's Kaminsky Conference Center at 7 p.m. and admission is free and open to the community. Now with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, as we head on into those 7 p.m. hours, things get pretty chilly. I mean, just look at these highs for the day. These are well below average by what, almost 20 degrees?
Yeah, almost 20 degrees below average today. This morning is definitely very cold, and we're going to see a similar scenario as we go into tonight. And I will say that tonight, this evening, winds are going to start picking up a little bit too, so we are going to be looking at maybe even a more brutal wind chill. For today, though, anticipate sunny skies and very chilly temperatures. Like Dave was saying, temperatures about 20 degrees below average. But we will be looking at plenty of sunshine, so if you're going to get outside and exercise, bundle up tight, but at least the sunshine will feel nice. We will talk about when snow will return to the forecast area coming up.